introductions. My name is Julia Frost. I'm one of the owners and women of Chive, Sustainable Event Design and Catering. Down the line we have Ann Albert, Jen Frost, Lindsay Wishire, and Lindsay's our head chef. Jen is our lead designer, and he's also our designer, and I'm the business side. So tonight what we're really excited to do is talk to you guys about how we've used Apple products, training, and services, and technology to grow our business from the ground up. So Chive is a sustainable event design and catering business. We started about a year and a half ago, but just about a year ago to the day, we were in here buying our MacBook Pros and iPhones from Mr. Eli. Hello! This is our friend Eli. And so I think that we'll just get started, and hopefully the girls can just chime in. This thing is a little loud.
Sounds good.
Okay, great. So Chive and Apple, sustainability and technology together, we think are a natural pair. So who's Chive? As I already mentioned, we have Jen, the designer, Lindsay, the chef, and me, the business side. But that picture really embodies the essence of business. Thanks, Jen. You want to chime in as well?
Sure. So I guess just talking a little bit about the business itself and what Chive is. We started about a year and a half ago, and we really are rooted in sustainability in every way. That said, we source everything locally and organically, and really try to bring good, wholesome food morals to our community through catered events. And we do so in a beautiful way, which is something that not all caterers tend to really care about. So that's sort of one of the things that sets us aside is our aesthetic presentation, the way in which we're sourcing, and the final product itself. So it's only natural for us to want to go ahead and pair with other like-minded businesses such as Apple, and we'll get into some of the reasons as to why the products that we use with Apple make sense and fit with us as a business. So I guess from the beginning, this is kind of just a silly little gimmick page that I put together. You've all seen the logo of the two guys on the computer with the Mac versus the PC, and I threw a couple images up there, one of the floor plan, which you can see on the top right, and then the other would be kind of like a cash flow sheet. So the floor plan is representing the design and the culinary portion of our business, and Lindsay and I, having met and actually grown our relationship in the beginning through art school, we're used to using Macs. We were used to how easy they were, and both in just design, but also quick Excel sheets and whatnot. Jules went to business school, and it was a little more difficult for her to understand why we cared so much about the Mac products and why we thought that they were easy. So believe it or not, anybody who knows Jules, she's probably the biggest promoter of Apple you've ever met in your entire life. They should pay her to actually do this. But we had to talk her into it, believe it or not, because she didn't quite understand why. So next slide,
I would say you didn't actually need to talk me into it. I came in here doing research as to why it made a smart business sense to buy Jen and Lindsay a Mac to do the design culinary end of things. And so they were educating me, and along the way, they educated me in a fashion that it just made sense, and me excited about the products and services themselves too. So I wanted a piece of it as well, and so it sucked me in.
So there you go. Sent her into the Apple store, and some of the great things that they were able to tell Jules about Macs, particularly the MacBook Pro, which was our first purchase from the Apple store, was not just the ease of use, but also why it made sense with us as a sustainable business. So Jules can talk a little bit about the things that she's learned about MacBook Pro and the reasons they make sense for someone who cares about green initiative and purchasing sustainable products. Even just a couple things.
Well, I mean, we have it listed here. Easy to use, obviously, the Apple store service, not just the trainer
slide. But now that we're all on board with Mac, it was kind of a decision as to what to go ahead and get. And as I mentioned, the first was the 2 MacBook Pros, which are used for everything from building our website. We came in, and actually the next slide is sort of a list of all of the things that we've been able to really take advantage of here in the Mac store. And for those who think it's just iPhones with music and telephone service, it's been so much more than that for us. Jules uses the iPhone itself for everything from documenting every single thing along the way via the imagery, or excuse me, the camera on the phone, which actually takes a beautiful picture. We've used several of the images from her iPhone itself right on our website, and you can't tell the difference whether it was taken with a professional camera or not. Maybe don't tell everybody that, but and then also on the iPhone, which we were talking about, or I show an image of Mobile Me there. What that is, for anybody who doesn't know, is and I had to really be just explained to as to what this is, but it has been a lifesaver for especially Lindsay and I. So like, Mobile Me is basically this cloud, and in the sky, just like the internet somewhere, is every menu that Lindsay writes for every event that we have, every design layout that I sketch, scan in, and save somewhere on that cloud, and every business files, every single thing, and they're all kind of compiled in an organized way that we can kind of have say in how and we're able to but we can all access them from our phones, from our computers, no matter where we are, which is really the incredible part, especially to me and to Lindsay. So we can be at the farm, pull up a menu that we wrote at home 4 days ago or even a week ago on our computers at home, and they're synced to our phones, and here we're standing in the most basic natural location ever. We're using technology to push a sustainable business, and it's pretty cool. So, anything you want to add about that?
I mean, I think that if you look in the scope of our business, we're 4 business owners. We have a staff of about 25 people that we call on hand per event. But for us to be able to communicate remotely and anywhere, all of our phones, computers sync with each other. They also sync our contacts, our photos, our calendars, and then we all have our emails accessible on it, obviously, as well. So this allows us to stay on top of things as much as possible, and this has been a large part of us propelling our business forward quickly, because things move quickly in this industry. People want their menus and their estimates on time, and very fast, especially after the initial request. And so to be able to get that out is really important, and then to be able to access it wherever we are is really of utmost importance. All of these things we purchased on site with our MacBook Pros. So we got 2 MacBook Pros initially, one-to-one service subscription for a year. We bought iWork for the keynote presentation, the Excel spreadsheets through numbers, and then the Word documents through Pages, which we use all of them all the time on a daily basis. Mobile Me, which is syncing all of our computers and everything together. And then we've visited the Genius Bar numerous times to get things fixed. It's not that necessarily the Apple's products have gone awry, but sometimes we've dropped them or things happen to them along the way. And we need some brainstorming help. So we're able to get those fixed at the Genius Bar rather quickly, which is awesome. And then the iPhone itself, using apps like QuickBooks, Intuit for QuickBooks has an app that allows us to accept credit cards. We're not in a business where we have a terminal and a client's going to come to us and we're going to swipe a card. We also aren't in a business where they would feel comfortable entering their credit card information online. So I needed some other way, other than waiting for a check for 2 to 3 months, because cash flow is important in a small business, from a higher ed institution where their check processing system takes months. We needed something right away that would allow us to get that revenue and to be able to use it appropriately. And so just asking the business team what they would recommend. We already got set up with QuickBooks on an app, which works really well and used to not be an option until this recent year. So we use that numerous things in regards to apps that we're learning every day. And people send us referrals about cool new things that we need to check out, which is awesome. Do you want to talk about the website?
I guess I could just talk a little bit more about a few examples of things. I think real life examples kind of help people understand why different products work well. So, I mean, again, even just something going back to as simple as using text messaging, we literally put together a quick text to send to our farmers to say what we want for them to drop off later on that evening, and they get it within seconds, and that's pretty incredible that we can do that. And the touch-tone screen pad, I felt, since having the iPhone has been incredibly helpful, because I used to absolutely hate texting and thought it was the dumbest thing, and now it works so well, and I'm hooked on it, and it does. It helps us get real information fast for our business to wherever we need it. As far as the website goes, I have personally, and Lindsay and Annie all have background in design. Mine's more in interior design and hospitality, in the sense of planning events. So everything was a bit more tactile for me, and I've never learned HTTP and all of those coding issues that go along with hiring somebody to build a website, which is incredible to me. But I was able to, in a very short amount of time, I would say, actually come in here for a series of one-to-ones with incredible specialists who sat down with me and helped me understand very quickly how iWeb works and how I could put my vision for our business into a computer screen that now the whole world can find us online. So I was pretty excited about that, and the other great thing is that it's a growing working document. It's not something that's set in stone or that I have to pay someone every time I want an update to go ahead and do. I can actually access it myself, again, in real time, anytime I want to, and update it right from my computer, which is really great. So
I would just add to that all of these initial upfront expenses and costs associated with starting a business can be really daunting.